word builders. Thanks for coming to learn with me, Mrs. ZK. Today we're going to work with suffixes. A suffix is a meaningful word part that we add to the end of a word. Today we're going to be working with suffixes that we use when we want to compare things. When we want to compare two things, we're going to use the suffix er. It says Can you say that? It means more. We're going to use the suffix est. It says est. Can you say that? Est, you're right. And this one means most. We'll use that suffix when we're comparing more than two things, like 3 things, or 5 things, or 100 things. Let's take a look here. Our first base word is cold. If we want to add the suffix er to the word cold, our word would become colder. What word? Colder. If we were to add the suffix est to the word cold, our word would become coldest. What word? Coldest. You're right. Take a look here. I have 2 seasons here. One is summer and one is fall. If I wanted to compare these 2 things, I'm going to use the suffix er. Which one of these seasons do you think is colder? Here's a clue. Look at our little thermometer. Ooh. The one with the lower temperature is the one that is colder. You're right. Fall is the colder season. But look at this. Now I have all 4 of our seasons on here. We have fall, winter, summer, spring. Now we're comparing more than 2 things. We're going to use our suffix est. Which season is the coldest of all? Remember, you can look at our thermometers again. Look for the lowest temperature. You're right. Winter is the coldest season of all. Nice work. Let's work on our next base word. Our next word is tall. If we want to add the suffix er to tall, our word becomes taller. What word? Taller. Nice job. Now, if we were to add the suffix est to the word tall, we would have tallest. What word? Tallest. Nice word. Let's look at that really quick. I have a little drawing here. We have a flower and a tree. So when we're comparing 2 things, we're going to use the suffix er. Which one of these things is taller? Of course, the tree is taller than the flower. But what happens now? Now I have more than 2 things. We have a flower, a tree, and a mountain. Which one is the tallest of all? For sure, that mountain is the tallest of all. Nice work. Let's keep going. Our next base word is quick. When we add the suffix er to our base word quick, we get the word quicker. What word? Quicker. And when we add est to our base word quick, we get quickest. What word? Quickest. You're going to see 3 animals pop up. There's a cat, a horse, and a cheetah. Which one of those do you think can run the quickest? For sure, that cheetah has to be the quickest of all. Now for our last base word. Our last word is high. If we want to add the suffix to our word high, we'll get the word higher. What word? Higher. And if we add the suffix est to our word high, we're going to get the word highest. What word? Highest. Maybe before you've been playing on the playground and you had a ball. and you wanted to see how high you could throw it. And you practice and you throw it high or even higher, but then you keep on practicing and then you find out you can throw it the highest of all. It can be fun to work with suffixes. Let's go ahead and reread our words that we just practiced. Are you ready? We have colder, coldest, taller, tallest, quicker, quickest, higher, highest. Nice job, scholars. Great job. Now we're going to go ahead and practice writing these words that we just built. We're going to see some sentences pop up on the screen. The sentences will be missing a word. That word will be a blank. We're going to have to use one of our words that we built today in that blank. So go ahead, get your paper, something to write with, and come on back. All right, let's read these sentences together. When we come across the blank, let's pause and think about what word might fit there. In the winter, the days are in February. Let's think about that. What kind of days would be in February? Oh, cold, because it's winter. You're right. So do you think it should be the colder days are in February or the coldest days are in February? You're right. It is coldest because we're comparing more than two things. Nice work. All right, let's read our second sentence. That skyscraper is much than my house. Which one of those words do you think fits? You're right, a skyscraper is pretty tall. It's a really tall building. So it must be either taller or tallest. Let's see which one fits better. That skyscraper is much taller than my house, or that skyscraper is much tallest than my house. You're right. It's taller because we're only comparing two things. Nice work. Next sentence. On the swings, I always go than my best friend. What do you do on a swing? Do you go pretty high on the swing? Yeah, me too. So would you go higher than your best friend? Or would you go highest than your best friend? Higher. You're absolutely right because you're only comparing you and your friend, how high you can go. It's two things, so we would write higher. Here's our last sentence. All the second graders ran to see who could be to the lunch line. Do you think they're running to see how quick they can be? Yeah, I think so too. Do you think all the second graders were running to see who could be the quicker to the lunch line? Or who could be the quickest to the lunch line? I think you're right. Quickest for sure. Because I'm sure there's more than two scholars in your second grade class, right? So you're comparing more than two things. Nice work, scholars. Today we worked on building, reading, and writing words with the suffixes er and est. We use these to compare things. Can you practice comparing things at home? Can you practice using the suffixes er and est? Maybe you can find out who is taller than you. And then you can find out who is the tallest in the house.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by and by viewers like you. Thank you.